Are you ready to make your very own pajama pants? I promise it's easier than you think. So, whether you're wanting to sew your own clothing or you're just starting to learn how to sew, this is going to be a great project for you. Let's get started. For this project, you're going to need the following. Now that you have your supplies together, the first thing we're going to do is roll out that big piece of paper. Then grab your pajama shorts and fold them in half so that the front of your pajama pants is facing up. Now, you'll want to lay out your pajama pants as flat as possible, lining up the bottom edge of the legs. Okay? Now that everything is nice and flat, you'll notice that the waistband isn't exactly the same from front to back. What that means is we're going to make two separate traces, one for the front and one for the back. So let's start with the front. So we're going to take the pajama pants and lay them out on our paper. And first we're going to mark the edges of the front waistband on both sides of the pant, like this. Okay, then we're going to trace along the sides of our pants. Perfect. Now use a ruler and connect the waistline and the hem. There's the front pattern piece. Now, if you're using shorts, you're going to have two additional steps. If you're using pants, then just ignore these next two steps and you'll see where to jump back in, okay? If you're using shorts, you're going to want to put the shorts on, then measure the distance from the bottom edge of your shorts to the floor. Whatever you measure, be sure to keep that number in mind for the next step. Now we're going to draw two lines coming straight down from the edge of our pattern trace. And these lines should be as long as the measurement you took in the previous step. So you're going to draw one on either side of your pant pattern and then connect them at the bottom to make a big rectangle. So once you're done, it should look something like this. Now, if you're using pants for this project, your pattern should look very similar to this as well, okay? So now, whether you're using shorts or pants, everyone continues the same. Now, we're going to add a 1-inch seam allowance to the sides of our pattern. All this means is that you're going to draw another line 1 inch away from the original line that you traced, okay? So now that we have the 1-inch line drawn in on the sides, we're going to draw a 2-inch line away from the top of our pattern, and finally a 3-inch line away from the bottom edge of our pattern. Now, once you've drawn all of these in, you're done with your very first pattern piece. How exciting and easy, okay? So now all we have to do is repeat the same process for the back of our patterns, and I'll show you how to start that, okay? So first, you're going to grab your pajama pant bottoms and fold them again with, this time, the back of your pant facing up, okay? And again, line everything up nice and flat, lining up the bottom edge of the pants. Lay them down on your paper. Mark the top edge of your waistline on both sides, trace around your pant, and continue just as you did for the front, okay? So now that you've traced out both the front and the back of your pants, it's time to cut everything out. And once you cut everything out, you should have 2 pattern pieces that look like this. Awesome! You just made your very own custom pattern. How exciting! Okay, so making the pattern is fun and all, but now we're about to start working with the fabric. So grab your fabric and grab those pattern pieces. Let's keep going. So you're going to lay your fabric out nice and flat. Then you're going to take your first pattern piece, the front, and you're going to trace it right onto your fabric, okay? Easy peasy. Now, the next step we're going to do after we're done tracing this piece is move to another section of fabric and grab that same pattern piece, the front pattern piece. But this time, we're going to lay it pattern side down. And what this will do is create a mirror image. So now we'll have both a right and left front of our pattern, okay? So lay it down, right side facing down, and trace it out. Now we're going to repeat the same thing for the back of the pattern. So grab your pattern piece, trace it out. Once you've traced out all 4 pieces, cut them out, and now we're ready to start sewing.